So I've just bought this abandoned 2015 BMW 2 Series from Copart as a non-runner. It was listed as a non-runner with no keys, with just minor damage to the front end, and also no odometer reading, so I had no clue of what mileage the car was on. But with a little bit of initiative, I plugged the vehicle registration into the MOT history, which showed me a previous MOT at 87,000 miles, only 5 months ago, so I knew that the mileage couldn't be much higher than this. If we take a look at the auction photos too, you'll notice there's no windscreen sticker on the vehicle. This normally indicates whether the vehicle is an insurance seller or a private seller. The letter at the end of the long number is what indicates whether a car is from an insurance seller or a private seller. The letter C means a private seller, such as somebody like you or me, and the letter X, E and F means insurance seller. So these cars have been put into Copart through insurance companies, whereas cars with the letter C have been put in by private individuals like me or you. So there could be anything wrong with those cars because they've not been through an insurance claim. Now, going back to my car, because mine didn't have any sticker on the windscreen, I wasn't able to figure out whether my car was an insurance seller or a private seller. So I really did take quite a big risk buying this car, given the fact that I couldn't figure out whether it was from an insurance seller or a private seller, and it was also a non-runner, and it also had no keys. Now, just a quick little interruption into this video. I've got something planned with this car, which I've never done before on any of my cars, and I will reveal that towards the end of the video, but it involves one of you walking away with this car. So stick around towards the end, and you'll see what I've got planned. Now, straight away when the car was delivered, I had the locksmith come round to actually unlock the car because it was locked, and you can see how he actually makes the key blade using this key cutting machine here. Once he gained access inside the car, he could then start to remove the ECU and another module to be able to program the key.
Yeah, you have to take ECU out first.
ECU as well?
Get data from ECU.
Ah, I see.
And then you have to take VCM out. Reprogram it.
Now, with the key programmed, we could finally actually unlock the boot of the car, and I could see what is inside of the boot.
He's got the boot open, and it's definitely a woman that's owned this car before. I can tell just because of this mat. There's a empty shoebox. We've actually got the booklet as well. I don't think there's anything in there. And there's a Sky box with a Sky. What is this? A router, or I think it's an internet router. Interesting. Got some washing supplies. That is absolutely criminal.
And then we can look.
So he's programmed the key, but the car's not got enough power to start, does it?
No juice.
No juice. So we're going to jump it, and hopefully it should start. We'll check the oil. Does it have a dipstick, this? It does. Oil is full. It's very black, as it always is on a diesel. So the ECU sits in this little box here, and he's had to remove the ECU and the front electronics module, which sits on the passenger footwell, and he's had to like talk to them two modules to be able to program the key. Now he's put them two back in. The key is working, but it's just not got enough power to start. So hopefully with a little boost it should start.
Put them together.
No.
Fuses in the car now. Not start.
My key.
I'll put the blade out then.
Let's see. Oh, I want to see what mileage it's got first. We have got 89,000. It's alright. I just didn't want it to be over 90. Ooh.
Go, press it. Not enough juice still.
Uh-oh. It was about to go. It's still not got enough.
Who says that you don't charge from battery?
When I post stuff online, people always cry about boosting from the battery, but
tell them
they don't know that there's nothing wrong with that. You need to hold the boost button. Alright, we've got the boost pack on and we're jumping it, so let's see. I'm gonna start it. Yeah! It's a good one. No knocky engine. Let's see if it's got any service history. It's the first thing I always do.
That'll happen now, don't you?
What?
You get the keys posted, do you?
Yeah, it always happens. I'll post a TikTok on it now, and someone will send me the keys. Vehicle status. Service requirements. Service history. Ooh, it does actually have loads of service history. Wow, it's got one at 13,000, 24, 26, 27, 26, 37, 62, 73,
Service history at all.
85. Yeah, it's got loads. BMW. Full BMW dealer.
All the way up to 80, fucking 84.
Not bad. All the way up till 5,000 miles ago. I'll do another service on it. That's not bad really. It's quite dirty. Bonnet open, door open, boot open, fuel reserve, washer fluid, set date and time, tyre pressure, headlight aim. Meh. That engine cover must be missing a bung because look how much it's vibrating. Right, so we're going to see if it drives, because obviously it's never been driven before. Runs, but you never know, the gearbox might be broke. Ooh, reverse. Reverse is working. Yeah. The headlight modules, the headlight's not working. Yeah, it's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, one of the headlights was out, so I think the water's got in the headlight and it's broke the module, so I'll probably need a new module. This bumper at the front is the one that was removed from the car, and it's cracked here, it's cracked there, and it's cracked there as well, so that bumper was too far gone to be repaired. So I bought this new one here, and the only damage to this is it's had a little repair there, but we'll be able to bodywork that and paint over the top of it. So I need to remove all the grills from the old bumper and transfer them onto the new bumper. I'm going to leave the ones at the top out because they can be put in after, but the bottom grills and the parking sensors and all that stuff, I'm going to build it all up onto the new bumper now.
With the front bumper prepped, the last thing the car needs is paint. So here you can see all the panels have been prepped and masked off, ready to be given a coat of primer. There was a slight dent in the driver's door which has been repaired, as well as a repair on the bonnet. And then also, finally, we needed to do a little repair on that new front bumper which I bought. Also, strangely, there was a massive hole in the middle of the alloy, so I went ahead and bought a brand new alloy and tyre, well, second-hand, which I installed straight away. Now, you can see that they've primered in blue instead of a grey primer. I think this is just to match the colour better, because obviously the car's being painted blue, so using a blue primer, I think, makes the colour much better. I'm not actually entirely sure. But then that black spray over the top is a guide coat just to make everything even when they sand it off. But you can see we've done the rear bumper, the driver's door, the bonnet and the front bumper.
So that's the front bumper freshly painted. The bonnet was painted and there was a little repair done on the front. The driver's side door as well had a little ding on the bottom, so we've repaired it and painted that. And the rear bumper as well had a bit of a crease on the back in the middle there. So that's all been repaired and painted. Very nice. So now I just need to fit the bumper up, put all the grills back in the bumper, get the headlight in the car, put the bumper on, and then that's pretty much this car done. I need to give it a service and a couple other bits and bobs.
Now that the bumper has been painted, it's time to reassemble all of the grills and the brackets and the parking sensors and the fog lights and all the trims back into the bumper. And then there's this bracket which the bumper sits on behind your slam panel. You can see here this plastic bracket. This was broke, so I had to replace this, and luckily I did have one spare lying around. And here you can see the difference. This is the new one compared to the other one which was broken. And it does also have those blue little V-bars, so I guess that's a nice little upgrade as well. And to replace this, you've just got to remove that upper carrier piece, and you can sort of just wiggle it out from beneath that. I did also have to replace this upper headlight bracket. This is just held in by one T30 onto the slam panel, and then another T30 goes into the headlight. And once I had installed this bracket, I could start to install the headlight back into the car. And then what I'm doing here is just lining up the headlight to the wing and the wing to the bonnet. So it's just a lot of trial and error of opening and closing the bonnet, moving the wing, moving the headlight until it all lines up quite nice. Also, didn't forget to install the under bonnet sound deadening, and then I could start to reinstall the rear tail lights. That's just Connor putting in the tail lights here. The tail lights are just held in by two 10mm bolts on each side, and then with the tail lights reinstalled, you can just see how much better that looks with that rear bumper freshly repainted. It had a big crease in it before, but now that's all sorted. So now it's all painted and I've got both the headlights back in. Now with both the headlights back in, I can start to reinstall that freshly painted bumper which I just built up. I did also decide to upgrade the kidney grills to these gloss black ones, so I think they just look a little bit nicer, and it's a very cheap upgrade to do. I think they were only about £15, I think. Now again, I'm just opening and closing that bonnet to get the bonnet gap to the bumper nice and flush. And then I did also have this spoiler lying around in my garage from a 2 Series. I'd removed it from a while ago, so I decided I'd just stick this on the car because why not? It makes it look a little bit nicer.
Get rid of that end badge, it's disgusting.
I don't think so. Brand new.
So now I'm just going to change the oil filter. I'm going to change the air filter and also the cabin filter because it's a bit stinky inside, and on the dash it says that the oil hasn't been changed for I think 10,000 miles, so it's definitely well overdue. So I'm just going to drain the oil now. So I've got the oil draining out now, and then I also always take off the oil cap because it just lets the oil drain a bit better. I am going to valet the engine bay because it is very dirty in here. The cars from Copart are always really dirty in the engine bay because all the sand from the yard gets up inside of them. So now I've done the service, I'm just going to add the service history to the iDrive screen. So now you can see I've added that on there, 89,399 miles, today's date. Now that the car's fully done, I guess I'll go through the costs of how much I paid for the car and the repairs to see if it was really worth it in the end. Now for this car, I did purchase it on a buy it now for £2,800, which
wasn't really the best price considering how much I've had to spend on it. But at the time, I didn't have any cars to work on, and I was just kind of desperate to buy a car, and I wanted something to drive for myself.
So if we go into my notes here, you can see I keep everything in my notes written down of what I've spent. So the car was £3,374.80. I actually paid £2,800 on a buy it now. So after fees, that's £574 in fees. The delivery was £400. The key was £260, so that was to be programmed and for the actual new key itself. The bumper was £144. Got £16.56 on a grille, £11.89 on a headlight bracket, £40 on a module, another £40 on an alloy, £80 on an alloy refurb, £60 on the service, so that's like the oil filters and whatnot, £160 on tyres and £500 on paint, and that brings a grand total of £4,970.25. And I would say that this car is worth, as a Cat N, so it's a 2015, it's got 90,000 miles and it's a Category N, I would say it's worth somewhere between £6,500 to £7,000. Realistically, probably £6,500. So I've bought this car for all in just under £5,000. So that's going to leave me with a profit of around £1,500, which isn't amazing. But for the work that I've had to do, you can't really complain. I've just had to change the bumper, a few trims, get the bodywork sorted, do a service, you know, tidy it up, get the tyres done. And now this car is a really good example and it's ready to go.
So I've actually took the seats out of the car because the carpets in here are so dirty. So to hoover everything properly, I've just removed both of the seats. I always do this when I'm cleaning a car because it just gives you so much better access to actually hoover the carpet. I've done the same thing over here on this GLA that I've just fixed. There'll be a video on this car probably next week. So you'll see this one next week. You can see the same in here. There's glass under the carpet and stuff. So without taking the seats out, I would have never been able to hoover all that out.
So here you can see I'm just giving the carpets a good hoover out, and once I'd hoovered all the carpets inside, just the outside of the car needed a good detail, so I got my dad to wash the outside of the car, and then that is the car ready to be sold.
So at the start of the video, I mentioned that I had something planned towards the end of the video that I've never done before, and well, that is that I'm going to be giving this car away on a raffle to one of you lot to win for just £2.99. So here is the car, and I'll just give you a little walk around of the car. You can see it's in really good condition. We've had all the bodywork sorted, and this car is a very realistic example of a car that maybe someone younger can actually buy a £3 ticket for and drive it away and insure it very easily. You know, it's just one of your normal cars for an everyday person, which is why I've decided to raffle it off.
Now, I will be completely transparent on the reason why I've wanted to do the raffles, and it's simply just to make a little bit extra income in order to fund the M4 build, because to repair that car is going to cost me somewhere between £30,000 and £40,000, I think, which I simply cannot afford. Like, at the end of the day, I'm just a normal guy who flipped his way up from a Ford Fiesta to a BMW M4 by repairing cars, and that got set on fire, so most of our money's gone. So it's sort of a win-win situation, I feel like, because it gives everyone that wants to support a way of supporting and also a way of benefiting, because it gives you a chance of winning a car, and it also massively supports me because it's given me the ability to be able to fund the build on the M4. So that is my genuine reasoning for raffling this car off, and if it doesn't do well, it doesn't do well. I might lose a little bit of money on it, but I'm willing to take the risk because, like I said, this is just a sort of a normal everyday car that most people can afford and insure, and that's the reason why I wanted to give it away. I could have tried doing it on the M2 competition, but I feel like that's too much expensive of a car. But you never know, if this raffle does really well, I might raffle that one off, so we'll just have to see. But that is going to be it for this video, so if you made it all the way to the end, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Obviously, as well, in the description below, there will be a link to the raffle website where you can go and buy your tickets for this BMW 2 Series, and good luck to everyone that enters. Also, I'm going to try continue with this style of video for the smaller repairs like this car, where I've showed the complete repair in one video, rather than stretching it out from 2 to 3 videos like I probably could, because I think it's just better to show it all in one. But let me know what you think in the comments, and once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.